Welcome to the Hanford Dixon Show with the top dog himself. We got another Victory Monday on our hands, Hanford.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Boy, I tell you, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help myself, Gab.
We got another Monday where we have beaten arguably the most dominant team in the NFL. Look at us go. Because we were saying that against the 49ers, and now here we are beating the Ravens. How good does that feel?
Gab, I am so excited. And you know what? I actually called this game. I said that.
Okay, go ahead. Gas yourself up.
Even though we were missing some pieces on that offensive line, and I don't know. I just had a feeling that we were going to win this ball game. And, boy, what a big game it was. Have you noticed, though, after we win a big game or any game, that the following day or especially at that moment, it makes everything all right?
Oh, yeah. This city, the vibe of the entire city, you know whether the Browns won or lost just by walking down the street.
Well, I don't have to ask you about your day yesterday, or you don't have to ask me about my day yesterday like normally we would do with each other, because I think we pretty much know how each other's day went because, boy, and Deshaun, I mean, what got into him?
I like to hear this tone you've got.
And we're going to really dive into this thing, not now, but we're going to dive into it because the difference in two halves, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. But we'll take it as long as we get the W. We'll take. Gab, I have to say this too.
Yes.
I went on Instagram. See, that's what you guys have to do.
You figured out Instagram.
Yeah, I did. If you're not following me on Instagram at Hanford Dixon Official, you have to follow me. I decided to do a little contest, and after talking to you,
yes,
you gave me the okay. So we decided to do a little contest, and as you know, whoever come closest to the score and predict who's going to win this game, that we would give them a shout out on the show, and we would give them an autograph T-shirt. And I think you have.
I love it.
You have the results there.
Yes, yes.
It was actually a tie, I think you said.
I must say, I'm also proud of you for figuring out on your Android over there how to get me the screenshots of this. Because at first he had it all zoomed in, all like dad style. Like, wait, you see this right here? Can you just write this down?
I don't understand. Why would you guys get hooked on those iPhones? I mean, you just absolutely get hooked on them, and you hate the Android. I'm just an Android guy.
Yeah,
I love them.
This could really divide the internet right here, because I know that we have JT Thompson coming on later, and he said that he also does not have an iPhone.
I was going to say, I bet you JT is Samsung. Well, I won't call the name, but an Android guy. My man.
He's a green bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's give our shout out to McBride Wheatley. He had Browns 27-24.
Wow. Okay, McBride, congratulations.
Yes, and It's Me, Shelley, also predicted 27-24.
And you know what I'm going to say? You guys, congratulations to them, but go and follow them on their Instagram, because I tell you, they've been hanging in there with us, and they picked the winners, so we got to give them a big shout out. But again, thank you guys for doing that, and we're going to probably do some every week. Again, I'm going to tell you, go to and follow me at Hanford Dixon Official. And what's your Instagram, Gab?
Look at you little influencer. At Gabriella Cruz.
Well, you don't have to follow her. Just look at it. You don't have to follow. No, I'm serious. You guys have to follow. Gab, what do we have coming up on the show here?
Well, wait a second. I feel like we said we wanted to come up with a Victory Monday handshake. What do you think it should be?
I don't know, but we can probably try something right now. The only thing
I think you should do the dog bark.
How do they remember that? All those little shakes and all that stuff. I see the basketball players and now the football players.
Well, we can make ours simple then.
Come on, real quick.
Maybe 1, 2, 3. You want a 4?
And then we do this.
All right,
and then we
you want
that.
You want an elbow with it? How about you bark at the end or something?
Oh, I'm not
okay,
messing with you. Forget it.
Well, first of all, all right, that was a little basic, but we'll work on it. Hey, Browns Victory Monday. Thanks so much for watching. We've got to take our first break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We are just breaking down that big Browns win against the Ravens, and we're going to bring in a very special guest today, Hanford. Another one of your boys.
Michael Dean. Michael Dean, what's up, dog?
That's the man of the hour, the day, the month, and year.
Gabby, you know one thing I got to tell you about Michael Dean?
What's that?
He don't think I know this, but if he was tall, though, he's 6'1". Now, that's pretty tall. But if he was about 6'3" or 6'4", he'd have been drafted a lot higher than he was. Is that right, Michael Dean?
You are absolutely correct. And you know what, Dick? You know what's funny? If you go back and look at history, I think I started one game back in '88 when I was drafted. I think I might be the shortest defensive end at the time. Now about this, Dick. Remember after I started playing, when Carson came in, we went to a 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was playing that Eagle Tiger 3 technique. So, but second and long, third and long, sometimes I would still go and play defensive end, pass rush. But after that, John Randall ended up becoming a defensive end. He's shorter than I am. He's about 6 feet tall.
Right.
Dwight Freeney.
Yeah.
Do you remember Noga?
Yeah, I remember Noga.
Yep. So all those guys came right after me at the same time. Noga and I came in the same year, but I started that trend of short defensive ends.
6-time Pro Bowler and.
But wait a minute. Let me tell you this.
Yes, sir.
You know I never understood. I played against the same guys in college. The guys who were 6'4", 6'5", and had success. So why wouldn't you think I would have success on the next level?
Right.
I just can understand that. But anyway, you're right, Hanford. That's what one of the a couple of scouts said. If you was the traditional 6'3", 6'4", 270, you'd probably be a top pick.
Hey, impressive career you've had, and we actually loaded a little special commercial because you were also pretty known for this McDonald's sandwich, cheeseburger.
Michael Dean Perry, you've finally been awarded the MVP, the Michael Dean Perry Triple Cheeseburger with bacon at McDonald's. And boy, do you deserve it. For only $1.99, the MVP is over a quarter pound of great cheeseburger taste. And there's bacon in every bite, and a Coca-Cola classic, and it's even better. Now that you have the MVP, Michael Dean, what more could you possibly want?
Another one.
Hurry down to McDonald's to get your own MVP today.
Another one.
The archives and got that one, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We scoured YouTube for that one.
Hey, Hanford, Gabby, You know what? I thought that was going to launch my acting career. But it was a one-shot deal, but nobody else ever called me, so.
One hit
guess
wonder.
I wasn't that good.
Mike,
I guess I wasn't.
Mike, how did that whole thing start?
They did regional players. I think Cornelius Bennett had one in the Buffalo area.
Okay.
Then they had me in this area, and then I'm trying to remember it was someone else. But anyway, they had 3 or 4 guys, and they just launched that campaign. That's how it all started.
Mike, tell me about your first sack when you got your first sack in the NFL. How did that feel?
I'll tell you what, Dick. Back in '88, of course, I had about 3 or 4 tackles for a loss, and I didn't have a sack, so I was getting a little, antsy. And then we played the Jets at home, and who was the quarterback then? It was not O'Donnell. That was Pittsburgh. I'm trying to remember.
Watch out, now you're going to show your age.
Hey, I know it, right? Hey, Dick, I'm having a senior moment. You guys can go back and look it up. But anyway, that was my first sack. They made a football card off of it as well, so I still have that poster in my house. So Neil, no, not Neil.
he's still Gab trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
He's having a moment over there.
You guys and your androids.
Hey Dick.
Yeah.
Must be that CTE, huh?
Right.
Okay, Hanford, give us the background because everyone always has a new nickname for you. What's this one about?
Hey man, I mean, this is Michael Dean. I ain't gonna go there with the show, but I hear. You ever heard of the refrigerator? This is how young she is, Michael Dean. You ain't never heard of the refrigerator? But see, Michael Dean had a famous brother who played in the National Football League.
William.
That's it. You.
I did a little homework. I didn't know that was the refrigerator. Okay, that's awesome.
But see, another thing you didn't know. See, and I'm a shock Michael Dean with this one. See, Michael Dean come from a family of 12 kids. 12. Wow. Now, and you know with 12 kids, you know, him and his brother William, they were both professional athletes. But he had two more brothers that was better athletes than they were. Am I right, Mike?
hey, probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick, when you hear Michael Jordan's interview, one of his interviews, he talks about playing his brother Larry. And when Michael said that when he could beat Larry, his brother, playing basketball, he thought he could beat anybody. And so when I was playing basketball and just, you know, fooling around with my brothers, when I got the best of them, then I knew, okay, you know what, I might be all right. So they set the bar very, very high.
Yes. Well, good for you. You've had a stunning career. And you know what? We should ask.
Gabby, let me tell you about my favorite Hanford Dixon.
Oh, perfect.
I was trying to get...
Listen, hey, Hanford. Listen, Hanford.
I didn't even have to ask. He's going to tell us.
It's not going to be anything as embarrassing, but just how great a cornerback he was, him and Minnie. So I'm coming to Cleveland, right? And it's the preseason. So I come to Cleveland, and, you know, Sam Clancy, Big Daddy Carl Harrison, Puzz, Bob Golick, you know, those guys.
Defensive
lineman, right? So anyway, I think it was maybe the first or second series, right? So I'm on the sideline waiting to get in, and I'm looking. So everybody is in the huddle, right? Everybody's in the huddle but Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. So I'm like, I said, why these guys don't get in the huddle? You know what they told me, Gabby? He said, that's Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. Whoever lines up on their side, they shut him down anyway.
That's right. Now, you take that, Gabby. You take that. Mike, I don't have to say nothing about you, big dog. You know what kind of player you are. I mean, again, 6 Pro Bowls and just a force on that defensive line. I want to ask you about another guy that's playing right now. What's your opinion of Myles Garrett?
What's my opinion of Myles Garrett? You know what? Before he's done, he stays healthy. He's going to be probably one of the best that ever played. Especially as a pass rusher. The guy, he's an outstanding player. I mean, quickness off the ball, recognizing, you know, different things that he sees, and he counters very well. So that's what you need. You know, he has all the tools, and it shows every single Sunday. So my hat's off to him. I wish I had him when I was playing.
Yeah. Mike, you don't have to tell me now. I tell him all the time. I said, that's what you need. You need, like, when you look at it, not only do you have him, and I don't know, I know you follow him a little bit, but he's got a guy, Zadarius, that's also on that defensive line with Dalvin Tomlinson, who's a defensive tackle. He's got a kid named Harris. I mean, he's got, you talk about on that defensive line, they are stout and they are big. What they do is, say for instance, if they're start on the 30-yard line, by the time that ball's snapped, they're starting on the 28 because they get so much penetration and push, which you know what I'm talking about. They're in the backfield right there. And it's not just one guy because, see, what they would do they could take a guy like you and they could double team you. But they can't do that with these guys that we have on this defensive line right here today. These guys are just that good.
They are. That's a great unit. And I tell you what, they're not there yet. But you think about some of the good front four teams of the past. You talk about the Ravens. You could talk about the Steelers. And probably more in our era, Hanford would be the Minnesota Vikings when they had Chris Doman. They had Keith Millard. They had John Randall. And they had Hank Thomas. A lot of people don't realize this, but for a defensive nose tackle, Hank Thomas has about 100 sacks.
Wow.
So I just tell you, you know, how great that defensive line was. But yes, Cleveland has a very stout, good defensive line. It all starts with Myles.
Are we the best in the NFL in your opinion?
You know what? It won't take long to call row. I tell you that. So you might not you might be 1-1A. How about that? That makes any sense to you, Gabby?
What do you say? 118?
You 1 or 1A. Yeah.
1A. I like that.
Yeah. Mike,
It won't take long to call row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
Oh, I missed it, Hanford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you missed a beauty, Gab.
I'm in a different market. We got the Panthers. I'm in Charlotte, so we got the Panthers, and then we have the Falcons. So,
Gabby, I'm gonna make him smile right now. See, you didn't know what we used to have, Gab. We used to have a basketball team, and we all played on the basketball team.
oh man,
God damn it, Michael D. Hold on, Gabby. Michael D. Are you south of 300 right now, or how is your weight? Is you good?
Yeah, I'm probably about. You saw me hit Hanford probably about last year. I'm probably about 280.
Okay. Yeah. Now imagine him at 280 right now, and you couldn't tell him that he wasn't a point guard. I mean, he think he can shoot too now. Gabby, his first love was basketball. Tell us about that, big dog.
No, really. Hey, Hanford, no, really. I love playing basketball better than I did football. And so, we go play pickup games with my brothers. And man, look here, I wouldn't go down in the post and post up. I'll get outside, man, and just shoot jumpers. I had that kind of range.
Do you still got it?
If I need to go inside, then I can post people up too. So yeah, I enjoy playing basketball, and that was my first love, basketball. But you know why? I kept getting wider instead of taller.
Hey, Mike, are y'all going to contain? See, Mike is from South Carolina, but he went to Clemson University, and y'all going to control Dabo down there, man. I mean, Dabo, Dabo said if they want to buy stock, you better buy it now. Dabo won't keep his mouth closed.
Hey, if South Carolina had a Mount Rushmore, Dabo will be on there. What Dabo has done for Clemson is sort of, it's just remarkable. I mean, you're talking about 2 national championships. I think he played for 3 or 4 more. Just broke Frank Howard's all-time winning record at Clemson, 166, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, he's had great success down there. We have a little down year now, but the Tigers will be back. Dabo, hopefully he'll get him back on track. So we're playing and competing for national championships.
Mike, we got one last question for you. How did you know when it was time for you to retire, when you've had enough? I mean, with everybody's different, but how did you know when it was time?
I tell people this story all the time, Hanford. I don't know if you ever heard this, but me and your buddy, Frank Minifield.
Okay.
I had asked Frank that question when I think I was a rookie of my first year. And I said, listen, when do you know when it's time to retire? And he said, Mike, let me tell you something. When it takes you from Sunday to Sunday to get ready to play, then it's time for you to retire.
Time.
And I thought about it, and you know what, Hanford? Frank was absolutely right. Because when I came in 1988, I could play on Sunday and then be ready to play again on Monday. And as the years, went on, my third year, I play on Sunday. It'll take me Tuesday to be ready to play again. And the more I played, it took me pretty much from Sunday to Sunday for me to be ready to play. What I mean is my body feels that good where I feel I can go out there and produce like I always can. And it really took me Sunday to Sunday by the time my 10th year came around for me to get ready to play.
Well, Gab, we're a little bit mad at him because, he finished his career in Denver, and you know how we feel about Denver in this part of the world. We don't like those Broncos,
Hey, Dick.
Yeah.
You know what I always say?
What?
They signed that check too.
That's right. That's right.
MDP, thanks so much for coming on. One last thing, because I know we've had a little feedback here. Can you still hit that outside jump shot?
Listen, those arms and shoulders are so beat up now, Gabby. I don't know if I can shoot a free throw right now, much less a jump shot. I might can hit a layup, Gabby.
Oh, that's good because Hanford can't. At least not if he's wide open.
Right. Dog, we really appreciate you coming on, man. Really appreciate it. I'm telling you, Gabby, they didn't come any better than this guy. Not only was he a great player, but he's an even better person.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for the compliment, Hanford. Always nice talking with you, man, and seeing you.
Thanks.
All right? May forever.
Okay, big dog.
Okay.
All right, we're going to break. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. MDP, what a treat to have on. He is so funny.
Michael Dean was really funny, but it was funny. We showed that commercial when he did that Michael Dean Perry burger, and they asked him,
there was more than one. We had options.
And what was the question they asked him at the end? Was he?
He couldn't want anything else, and he was like, "Oh no, I'll have another one."
Yeah, I'll have another one. He was so funny.
I love when he said, "I thought that was going to launch my acting career."
Yeah. You didn't know he wanted to be he thought he was a basketball player, did you?
That is so
the
wild.
biggest point guard in the world.
That is too funny. Yeah, he was a character. We've got another special guest coming on. Welcome back for week 2, one of our favorites. We've got Browns legend and executive VP with the Ravens, Ozzie Newsome, back joining us. And I'm not going to lie, Hanford, I think all of us probably thought we were going to have a different type of phone call today with him.
Yeah, we did. We had all penciled in the
we were kind of like, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, the Ravens to win this one, but shit happens. I mean, Big Dog looked at me when I said shit happens. I'm sorry, but dog,
Ozzie,
you cut me out on that one.
Ozzie, thanks again for joining us. Listen, what's going through your mind when you watch a game like that unfold?
Well, I know games are 4 quarters, and and I normally don't get comfortable till the last 30 seconds of a game because so many things can happen that can flip the momentum. So, and it was one of those games that both teams were moving the ball, and I started to feel like it was going to come down to whoever had the ball last was probably going to have a chance to win it.
Yeah, was there any point during the game that you started to get a bad feeling?
Yeah, when we first kicked off,
That's how Browns fans usually.
I had a good feeling on Saturday after Alabama beat Kentucky, but once the ball got kicked off yesterday, I don't ever have a good feeling.
Well, Gabby, he said when Alabama beat Kentucky, you know what I was getting ready to say when he said that?
What's that?
Roll Tide.
Of course.
You know that was coming, don't you?
Bama boy.
Well, howdy toddy. God damn it, howdy toddy. Big Dog, that was a tough one yesterday, man. That was a tough one for you. I know it. One thing I didn't do, Gabby, I wasn't making no phone calls to him. I wasn't, no texts to him. I wasn't going to text him. Nothing, because I know he was going. Wiz, this is what I think make it really, really tough for you, because when you look at it, I mean, Baltimore. I think now looking at the schedule, Gab, I think they have, if not the toughest, but one of the toughest schedules the rest of the season. That's why it's really hard, Ozzie, to let a game like yesterday get away from you guys.
Well, Hanford, if we are going to take the opportunity to, make it to the Super Bowl, then when you get into playoffs, there are no easy games.
Right.
So, we have to play the schedule. The schedule came out in May, and we looked at it, and then you just go play the schedule. The thing you don't know is when you play a team, what injuries they're going to have and what injuries you got, and that can dictate to how good your opponent is going to be. Because if you have seen over the last 4 or 5 weeks, I think we had 10 rookie quarterbacks that started.
Right.
Last weekend, I think. So, you just have to play the schedule, and you want to win enough games to get into the playoffs, and then you play another tough schedule.
You mentioned rookie quarterbacks. This might be my time to ask Ozzie, not to switch gears here, but he's been so phenomenal. What do you think of C.J. Stroud?
You know what? He's playing. We played against him in the opening game. And I saw in that game some resiliency, that he has some poise. And you could see that he was going to have a bright future. I have not had a chance to study him since that first game. I will today or tomorrow as they play Cincinnati yesterday, get a chance to rewatch him. But he's a talented kid, and they got the Alabama head coach down there that he's doing one heck of a job. D'Amico, he's doing a heck of a job for a first-year coach.
Well, this is what make me mad when I sit there, and obviously Stroud is a good talent, and people make me mad when I hear him say, "Okay, he should have been the first-round pick." But he went second. I mean, you're talking about. I mean, you got to. Both kids are good players, and one I think is just having better players. But I don't want to get into that and start going because I'll start getting mad again. Don't be talking about Bryce. But dog, up 14 in the going into the fourth quarter, with the way your defense is playing, I had to think that. Maybe you had this one won.
No. I mean, Cleveland was moving the ball the whole time, and but we have been able to make plays in the fourth quarter to seal games, and we thought we had made the play. We didn't get the fumble, but and then Deshaun got hot. As I've been dealing with Deshaun since he was at Clemson.
Right.
Nick said we gave him the ball too much time, and he took it down and beat us in the national championship game. So, it was some opportunities, and we didn't capitalize. But I'm sure they were saying there were some opportunities that they didn't capitalize on.
From your experience, Ozzie, do you think Deshaun has kind of turned a corner?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he had a corner to turn. Deshaun's a good football player. And, he's had to deal with injuries, and he had the other thing last year. But, you have to play the game, and he hasn't played a lot this year. And so, having to be able to put I think 2 back-to-back games together, and then now it's like coming out of training camp. It just takes some time because the speed of this game, you just can't emulate it in no other fashion than to play the game.
Well, I can't wait to go back and watch this film because I wanted to see. It just seemed like Deshaun was able to scramble, just like you said, make some plays with this leg, and then it just seemed like Lamar wasn't able to do that toward the end of the game. I don't know whether they had a spy on him or whether it was boxing him in. Were you able to see anything different? Because it looked like he just wasn't able to get out of the pocket and gain that extra yardage that you used to seeing him get to pick up the first down.
Well, I mean, I think most of the pundits, all the other people like you want to see him stay in the pocket. They said he can't play from the pocket.
Well,
but Lamar does what he has to do to try to win football games. And whether it's staying in the pocket, whether it's taking and running with it, with some quarterback runs that Todd put in, he just does what he feels like he has to do in order for us to win and be successful on offense.
Well, you tell Lamar he need to take off that jacket over on the sideline like he freezing over there, Tell him he got a ball.
He's from Florida, man.
Yeah.
He's from Florida.
I mean, he's sitting over there like he freezing. I'm like, what the hell is he doing over there? Ozzie, real quick, short week this week. This one, you got to forget about it. I mean, as well as anybody else, this one you just got to bank it, forget about it, because you got another big game coming up Thursday against another division opponent, talking about those Cincinnati Bengals.
That's true, and as soon as I get off of this call with you, I'm going down to practice. We've already turned the book to the Bengals. The players are in the building, and we're starting to get prepared to play against another division rival, who's playing good football also.
Gabby, I'm gonna say this to you.
Yes.
You wouldn't believe how much you would think Ozzie still play. You wouldn't believe how much film he watches during the course of a week.
Oh, yeah. And I know he's such a gamer. I was going to ask him how long did he have to walk today because he probably had some steam to walk off. I know how invested you are. Like, we were giving him a hard time. The guy won't retire. He's doing all the film. He's getting his walks in. He's, got his game face on.
He loves the game. He loves the game. But Wiz, you expect your boys to bounce back, right?
Yeah, I do, man. This is a resilient football team. And, hey, but we got the Bengals coming in, so it's another AFC North clash.
Well, Dog, we appreciate you coming on. I can't tell you how much we thank you, because I know it was tough after that ball game. But again, got to forget it. Have a short memory.
Okay, man. Enjoy talking to you. Tell your family I said hello.
You got it, my friend. Thanks, Big Dog.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
The Wizard of Oz. That's what we call him, Gab.
Always great to have him on. I kind of thought maybe he wouldn't come on this week just because I didn't know how that works. I mean.
Well, he's talking with you and I. I mean, he was happy to come on. He wouldn't miss that. But you know what I used to always say, Gabby? He can catch a BB in the dark.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coordinating that. Once again, Hanford, always good to hear from Ozzie Newsome. We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We're just celebrating our Victory Monday. How about this, Hanford? 5 walk-off field goals in Week 10. That's an NFL record.
You know, it was a strange day in the NFL yesterday, and just things were happening, just like what you just said, that hasn't happened in a while. I mean, never happened. Like you said, it's a record, but only thing I'm happy about is the one we had.
I know
that
it.
40-yard field goal right at the end. Man.
Were you sweating a little bit there?
I was sweating a little bit, but I got a feel for this game early on, and after we got down, I think it was the first half. It was 17-3. I just got a good feeling about this game. So
okay.
I feel pretty good right now today.
Ooh, and how about Myles Garrett's 6th consecutive season with 10-plus sacks? He becomes only the 7th player in NFL history to do that.
Well, you know what I keep saying about Myles? He's just a beast. He's a freak. I mean, this guy, whenever you need a play, he's a guy that just jump in there and he really makes it happen. So what can you say about him?
Hey, let's say everything about Myles Garrett and then some with our fan reaction that we have every week. We are welcoming on JT of Montrose Auto Group, John Thompson.
Thanks, Gabby.
There you go.
Hey,
JT,
can you
John
believe,
Thompson.
Can you believe she
10
got
weeks.
the 10 weeks?
10 weeks.
Did she get the name right?
She finally got.
Guys, all right, listen. To be fair, he's such an ambassador of Montrose Auto Group
yeah.
that for the longest I just thought that was your last name.
It's all right. It works out. We figured it out as time went on.
Yes.
Not a big deal.
And
but
now we're always remembering the name because we're associating you with Browns wins.
Absolutely. And yesterday was one of the best I could personally ever remember.
Well, it's funny. I'm sitting here, and I was going to say, talking about Montrose Auto Group, he is, well, I know your dad, but you are also an owner
Yep.
of Montrose Auto Group, and I could tell you don't talk about it a lot. You just low key.
Got to stay under the radar.
You stay under the radar,
It's
and I
better
think
that
that
way,
is
and-
just absolutely great. But before we do, let's jump into this game.
Oh God.
Tell me how you felt about it, big dog.
And you
Yesterday,
were
I-
busy yesterday, too.
I was busy yesterday. Actually, just got back from a little vacation, a long weekend down in Florida. Went to happiest place on earth, Disney World yesterday.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, God damn it, wait. I thought
There he goes.
I thought you said you were low key.
Well, low
I
key.
mean, look at him. I mean,
Everybody takes a vacation.
And what was the temperature in Florida when you were there?
It was about 82 on Saturday.
Rub it in. Carry on,
Yeah,
JT. I'm
the
sorry.
Cold
Carry
front
on.
did come through. It was about 72 yet last night, but I'm standing in line. My niece wanted to go into It's a Small World,
Oh.
and I see Greg Newsome pick off the ball for the pick six,
Whew.
and I'm screaming in the middle of hundreds of people waiting in line.
They thought you were crazy.
Yeah,
No, they're looking at me, and I'm staring at my phone, as the diehard Browns fan that I am, and I was freaking out. It's just, you had that feeling. As soon as that ball was
Yeah.
batted up in the air, you had that momentum. You felt it. It just was all throughout the game. You knew.
Yeah.
You
Shout
knew.
out to friend of show, Greg Newsome. What a way to make a
Incredible.
splash for his first career interception.
Incredible. And I got something for you. So, true or false, Hanford?
Okay.
Are the Browns a legit contender to make a deep run after yesterday in their performance, or is it still too early to tell?
I think it's JT. I think it's still a little too early to tell. But if you were to hold me down, hold my feet to the fire, and make me answer that question, I would say yes. This football team is unbelievable. And what I like about yesterday, I think it was just a big team win.
100%.
I think when you look at it, normally it's the defense that's pretty much doing everything.
Yep.
But this game was defensively, offensively,
Special teams.
and special teams. I'm not counting that fumble we had late in the ball game.
Right.
But didn't you? I have to ask you this: how did you feel about the way the defense came out and responded after that fumble? I mean, we came out, man, and we were like battling.
They just play. They play with an attitude. When their back's against the wall, they play with that chip on their shoulder, and they do what they need to do. And it's so evident to watch when they get a little bit fired up, a little bit pissed off. They play with an extra edge. It's great. It's
JT,
great.
you know, and I'll ask you this question. You and Gab, both of you guys can jump in on this. You know what I thought was the crucial play, and it was at pretty much toward the end of the third quarter. And you talked about Myles Garrett and his 1.5 sacks that he had yesterday, but he had sacks pretty much on back-to-back plays because when they got that ball, they were on the 37-yard line, and with those 2 sacks, Myles
Backed them up.
Them up, and they couldn't get a field goal.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's an absolute game changer when you have a player of his talent, his caliber, his intensity to do what he does at crucial periods in the game. Because you know, Hanford, in a game of football, there's pivotal times to where you got to make a play, and he rose to the occasion. And he has time and time again. It's great.
Tell us about Montrose Auto Group.
Montrose, hey, we've got stores all over Northeast Ohio, from Ashtabula County to Lorain County, down into Summit County. So we've got 13 brands at 6 different campuses around Northeast Ohio. So you can go GoMontrose.com and check out our entire inventory. I know I'm helping a friend of yours out right now.
Absolutely. And I'll say this real quick. I know you have, say, if someone wants something like a Kia, you got that. But also, if they want to go up and
Kia, Ford, we also have Land Rover, Jag, Volvo. So we've got the luxury brands along with the more economical and fuel efficient side of things. So we've got a whole mix.
Well, I'll tell you this: we really we appreciate chopping it up with you. You like that, Gabby? Chopping it up?
Okay, that's cute. We'll keep that one. And I think it's a cool foreshadowing. He's at Disney. Hopefully, we're at Disney celebrating later on this season.
It was a happy time yesterday when I saw that kick go through.
It's a small world after all.
It's seared in my memory banks.
JT, did you like that chopping it up?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Wow, there he goes.
That's what we're doing.
This guy, you know it's serious when he starts pounding the table.
I got to bark a little extra today. We won.
He's happy.
We won. This is
Absolutely.
a Monday.
Hey,
You have
secret
to win.
handshake. Let's see if you remember.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait a minute.
Hit the rock first and then.
Okay, come on.
Come on. You made this up.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Rocket,
Boom.
elbow.
Boom.
Yeah, we got to go to break. We're so late. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We've had some really great guests on lately, Hanford. Thanks for coordinating and bringing on. We got MDP, and we also had Ozzie Newsome. Always great to hear from them.
Boy, it was really good to have him on, especially to hear him talk about how they were feeling up there in Baltimore after this. Obviously, you can put it anywhere you want to put it. This was a big game and a devastating loss to them, even though when you still look at it, they're still atop of the AFC North. But I guarantee you, this was a game they had at home, a game that they always, they normally win that game when they're playing at M&T Banks. Was that the name of that stadium? I think that's the name of that stadium. But, it was good to have it.
Yeah, what were some of your biggest takeaways from Sunday's win?
Gabby, I have to tell you, I was a little worried there in the beginning, especially this game, because when we first came out to shoot, Deshaun had a pick six, and they picked it off and ran it in for a touchdown, and then there was a couple other scores, and before we know it, we was down 17 points. I think at one point we were 17-3 at the end of the half, and I thought, hey, man, this is going to be a long day. Even though I picked the Browns to win, that make you have a change of heart real fast watching this ball game. But, I have to give our guys a lot of credit. They fought. They just kept clawing away, and I just thought, when you look at Deshaun's numbers, in that first half, Gabby. It was just unbelievable. In the first half, look at this. He was 6 for 20 for 79 yards in that first half. And then he comes back, and along with everybody else on this defense, the way they played, he was 14, I think, for 14 for 134 yards and 1 touchdown. And I can't tell you, you watched it, that were numerous times that he came out of there and scrambled for the first down. And then here come our guy on defense talking about Myles Garrett. Just unbelievable. Took over the game on the defensive side. He ended up the day, I think, with 1.5 sacks. I think now he's got 19 total sacks, and he just had a day. And then our guy, Newsome. I mean, talking
Yes,
about did you see what did you say when he had that big pick?
The pick six. I was just really happy for him. You know, he's a friend of Big Play. He comes up here. We've gotten interviews with him, and just a great guy. I was happy to see that his first career interception was in such style.
And I think Ozzie put it correctly when he said he thought that whoever had the ball last was going to be the one to win this ball game, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, we ended up hitting, what was it? I think it was a 40, what was it, 38 yard field goal or something like that, and able to win the ball game. But it was a big win. It was a big win, and it was a team win. And I could just imagine those guys on that flight coming back from Baltimore back to Cleveland. It was just really, really exciting. And you know what? It get them going. I mean, it get them going. Now they know they have another game coming up, and we're going to talk about, I guess, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got them coming up, and boy, it was just I just thought it was a great team win, and I was just happy to see it.
Awesome. Okay, well, real quick, I don't know if we'll have time to go all around the AFC North, but you did mention the Steelers, and the Browns are hosting the 6-3 Pittsburgh Steelers this week. So Browns got revenge for their early loss to the Ravens. What do we need to do this week to avenge that Week 2 loss to the Steelers?
Gabby, I'm scared. I'm scared because I want to, the reason why I'm saying this is a football team that I think we should beat. I don't care what their record is. I think we should beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and obviously we're playing them at home. But whenever I start thinking that way, that's when it goes the other way. So I'm not going to say that. We have to
reframe your thinking,
well,
my guy.
I am going to do that. So we have
What
to.
What do we do to slow down T.J. Watt?
We have to give them. Oh my God! Don't even talk about him and what he did to the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, just beat up on the big. That was a game I wasn't expecting the Bengals to lose. I'm glad they lost that game, but I wasn't expecting them to lose that game. So again, the AFC North, one of the best divisions in football.
Yeah, we got to put them away early, I think. All right, we'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. I'm Gabriella Cruz. Thanks so much for watching. We've got our last segment here. How about a couple quick bets for you, Hanford?
No,
is that all right?
Before you do that, I have a bone to pick with you.
Again?
Yeah, because I'm sick and tired of people. They tell me they watch our show, they love our show, but they much rather look at you than to look at me.
Hey,
I mean, what? I mean, come on.
Don't
I'm
hit
like,
the player, hit the game.
Okay. All right. Hit me with your questions.
Well, wait a second. Let me just see if you remember our Victory Monday handshake, because this is going to be crucial for us moving forward. Ready? Go.
Oh,
nailed it.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Now we're giving something to people to watch for you.
Oh.
Hopefully we'll be doing that next week against the Steelers. Let's do a couple quick bets here. Over under 38.5 total points. What do you think? Steelers, they've been winning ugly too, but they're averaging 17.3 points per game, allowing 20.2.
I'm going to say under. I'm going to say under because the way our defense is playing and that offense is just not they're not playing up to par. They're getting it done, but they're not playing up to par. So I'm going to go with the under on that one, but the Browns will win that one.
Browns win. Okay, that's all I needed to know, because producer's giving us the 30-second or the wrap-up here.
Already?
Yeah, well, we like to chat, and we kind of we chatted with so many people today.
Goodness. Okay, all right. Well, I guess we got to do what we have to do.
I was going to say Cleveland, we're opening as 4-point favorites. Who you think's going to win? You already told us it's Browns, baby. We're going to do our Victory Monday handshake again next week.
We got Gabby, good show.
Hey, good show. Give us the bark. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next